of Management Studies, IGNOU presents an audiobook on the course Mmpc 016 International Business Management for MBA program. Presenting Block 3 Strategies of International Business, Unit 8 Organizational Structures.
Objectives. After studying this unit, you should be able to 1. Describe the basics of organizational structures. 2. Understand the various types of organizational structures. 3. Describe the merits and demerits of various types of organizational structures. And 4. Appreciate the issues involved in each type of organizational structure. Introduction. The concept of organizational structures has become extremely relevant in the context of global organizations. It is indeed important to understand the organization structures, especially the underlying linkages among 4 key areas, which include global strategies, global management, strategy implementation, and global competitiveness. The essence of global strategy lies in coordination and integration of geographically dispersed operations for achieving global competitive advantage. In this context, the desired organizational structure and their different types become an important subject. The globally engaged firms usually choose an organizational structure which is aligned to their strategic objectives. In this unit, we are going to discuss various types of organizational structures and their advantages and limitations. The cost cutting of business operations in the time-turbulent economic times further compel us to think and innovate on organizational designs and structures. Organizational designs are primarily based on the 4 interlinked fundamentals, viz. Organizational structure, organizational process, and people and organizational culture. In the subsequent section, we are going to discuss these key elements and then move further to study different types of structures. Organization factors and their elements. While planning the organizational structure for any internationally engaged business firm, the balance of autonomy and integration are 2 issues that are critical. Subsidiaries need autonomy in order to adapt to their local environment, and parent company simultaneously needs integration with all subsidiaries to implement global strategy. Global organizations need to achieve both integration and autonomy while fostering the increasingly important tasks of learning and knowledge transfer. Being able to transfer knowledge from one country to another provides a key source of advantage for multinational companies. 4 factors and their individual elements determine the crucial organization forces that affect a company's ability to formulate and implement global strategy. 1. Organizational structure comprises the reporting relationships in business. 2. Management processes comprise the activities such as planning and budgeting that make the business run. 3. People comprise the human resources of an internationally engaged business firm and include its managers and all other employees. And 4. Culture comprises the values and unwritten rules that guide and shapes the behavior of employees of an organization. Each of these factors directly affects the other in formulating and implementing global strategy. Each organizational factor and its elements have a distinct effect on the use of each of the 5 global strategy levels, which are 1. Market participation, which involves the choice of country markets in which to conduct business and the level of activity, particularly in terms of market share. 2. Products or services involve the extent of product and market depth of a globally engaged company. 3. Location of a value-adding activities refers to locational advantages the firm enjoys for entire range of business activities in the global value chain, including where to locate each such activity. 4. Marketing involves the extent to which a worldwide business uses the same brand names, advertising, and other marketing elements in different countries. 5. Competitive moves involve the extent to which a global business makes competitive moves in specific countries as part of a global competitive strategy. Types of organizational structures. Organizations all over the globe have to compete with a much wider array of companies than their domestic counterparts and therefore have to evolve several strategies to become as efficient and cost effective as possible. The choice of organizational structure shows the nature of the organization according to its decision making abilities. Basically, there are three types of organizational structures. These are 1. Functional organization structure. A functional organization structure is one in which each type of work is performed in a different department. For example, the company's finances are looked after by the finance department. Each division performs a set of work. For example, marketing department looks after the marketing issues of the organization and so on. Each product line or geographic region then makes use of these centralized resources, treating each department as if it is dealing with a separate external entity. This helps the organization to have advantage of a very standardized processes for each of its functions and have economies of scale. These organizations focus on specialization of job skills and are more centralized in nature. This type of organizational structure works well for smaller and less complex organizations, dealing especially with the organizations that have only one or a few products or services. Furthermore, these are operating in relatively stable environment and have consistent business strategies. The following are the advantage of this type of structure. 1. Economies of scale with efficient use of resources. 2. Task assignments consistent with technical training. 3. High quality technical problem solving. 4. In-depth training and skill development within functions. And 5. Clear-cut career paths within functions. 2. Divisional organization structure. Divisional structures are popular amongst organizations with diverse operations which are spread across many products, areas, and customers. These include A. Greater flexibility in responding to environmental changes. B. Improved coordination across functional departments. C. Clarity in responsibility for product or service delivery. D. Expertise focused on specific customers, products, and regions. E. Easier growth or reduction in size by adding or deleting divisions. And F. May reduce economies of scale. This type of organizational structure has many advantages but has high probability of the disadvantages, which are A. May create unhealthy rivalries among operating units. B. May increase costs by duplicating resources and efforts across divisions and causing an overemphasis on divisional versus organizational goals. 3. Matrix organization structure. Matrix structures are often found in organizations pursuing growth in dynamic and complex environments. The matrix provides a way of coordinating different functional contributions to serve specific program needs. The advantages associated with this type of structures are A. Flexibility. The matrix makes it easier to add, remove, and change the focus of team to reflect new program directions or basic changes in business size. B. Customer service. The customer or client of a matrix structure always has a back-end support to solve the issues. C. Better accountability. The matrix clearly identifies program managers who can be held accountable for performance results. Moreover, this helps top managers stay informed about the happenings in the organization and why. D. Improved decision making. The matrix organization structure forces decision making and problem solving down to the team level where the best information exists. E. Improved strategic management. The matrix organization structure makes top managers free of routine decisions and enables them to devote their time to more strategic management concerns. The disadvantages associated with this type of structure are A. Power struggles. B. Team members may become too focused on themselves and lose sight of important goals. C. Often creates increased costs as overhead rises in the form of extra salaries for managers related to the program. International division structure. Let us now discuss different types of divisional structure based on the three basic types of organizational structures as discussed in the previous section. The international division structure has each international business activity grouped into its own division, for example, GE having a microwave division and a turbine division. The features of this type of divisional structure are A. It creates a critical mass of international expertise in its division. B. It has a more flexible approach wherein it creates quick response to environmental changes. C. It prevents duplication of activities. And D. This structure is best suited for multi-domestic strategies that requires little integration and standardization between domestic and foreign operations. Global functional structure. The global functional structure is based upon the global centralization of decision-making, coordination and control at the level of the key functional activities such as R&D, operations and marketing. All strategic decisions and operational policies are made at headquarter level. The global functional organizational design does have its own set of advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are 1. The efficiency is obtained through the coherence of decisions and policies. 2. Optimization, concentration and specialization of resources. 3. Economies of scale, avoids duplication of effort. And 4. Favors rapid transfer of know-how from headquarters to subsidiaries. The demerits are more visible when competitive business context is fragmented into several segments, calling for distinct capabilities. Further, this functional organization design may fail when local business environment in various business units and markets is significantly different. Overall, this type of structure brings in a lot of new information via transfer of cultures, which in turn enhances the innovation capacity of the organization. Geographic division structure. This structure is based on the global decentralization of decision making, coordination and control at the level of subsidiaries. In such a structure, central functions or product management roles are sometimes non-existent, or when they do exist, they play an advisory or coordinative role without much executive power. For instance, Ford Motor Company's geographic structure organizes its units into North America, South America, Europe, Middle East and Africa, and Asia Pacific. Functional managers within business units report to the local country manager, who in turn reports either directly to the chief executive or to a central senior manager in charge of international operations. Advantages of geographical structure. 1. The main advantage is the flexibility and ability to incorporate local specificity into the organization's competitive approach. 2. It also helps in creating more localized value appeals for the customers. 3. Helps in capturing rising opportunities because the decisions to change or adapt are localized in nature. And 4. In highly dynamic markets like India, these are better suited structures. Disadvantages of geographical structure. The problems will arise when the local autonomy creates too much duplication and erodes the economies of scale. Also, when customers become global and require standardized kind of approaches, this kind of structure may not be relevant. Matrix division structure. According to this structure, both functions and geography are given equal power and responsibilities. This is a common structure designed for engineering, advertising, and consulting companies. The objective of this structure is to solve the requirements of efficiency and simultaneously leverage the responsiveness through dual structure. The concept of think global and act local is possible to implement with this kind of a structure. Advantages of the matrix division structure. A. This structure gives a common focus to the functional, product, and geographic groups. B. It makes each group share the responsibilities for foreign operations. And C. It tries to deal with the competing pressures for global integration and local responsibilities. Disadvantages. A. The unique needs of the groups are not encouraged. And B. May eliminate the multiple knowledge generating and decision making relationship. Looking at the features of this structure, it can be said that it carries the functions of both functional and divisional structures. Multi-business global product division structure. When an organization diversifies into several business activities to become a multi-business corporation, it has the choice among three different organizational models to manage its global operations. In this structure, the divisional global headquarters of one business can be located in one country, while the divisional headquarters of another product line or business is located in another country. The corporate headquarters role is limited to overall strategic planning, financial control, and executive career management. In this model, the company is divided into business divisions, and each division is in charge of a product or service line. The division head is responsible for the global performance of the business and the division. Within the division, the organizational design can be one of the three kinds: global, functional, geographical, or matrix. When there are potential synergies between divisions, then the corporate headquarters play a more proactive role and provide support services to subsidiaries like training, logistics, legal matters, and financing. Advantages of multi-business global product division structure. 1. It gives the flexibility to adapt its structure to the competitive context of each business. 2. The design provides the organizational mechanism for global efficiency and coordination. And 3. This is a model favored by multi-business corporations. Disadvantages. The structure does not seem operative in regions where the customers demand a strong coordination among businesses. There can also be duplication of efforts since different divisions can approach the same customer. The second disadvantage is in terms of predominance given to global efficiency rather than local responsiveness. Hybrid structure. In this kind of structure, there is a single line reporting. According to Lasser, this includes two types of models. 1. International division structure. In this model, there is a clear distinction between the home country business units managed by divisional executives and international subsidiaries. The executives directly look after key business areas such as product development, manufacturing, marketing, exports for their respective territorial jurisdictions, that is, domestic or international business operations. The business leadership of an international division develops their country's strategic development. 2. Complex dual structure. The logic of dual mode is to create within the global organization a mix of different designs. It offers the flexibility to take care of the many business specifics for international business operations. Transnational structure. This structure focuses on the management processes and culture. It follows the N form in contrast to the M form. The reason for this is that it stresses on issues like integration, combination, multiplication of resources and capabilities. It also focuses on managing assets and core competence as a network of alliances in contrast to geographical and functional division. A transnational model is basically a compromise between the local autonomy and centralized decision making, whereby the organizations try to maintain a balance between the pressures of global integration and the pressures of local responsiveness. According to the transnational model, there are 4 types of differentiated managerial roles. A. Global business managers. B. country managers, C. functional managers, and D. corporate managers. Since the model follows a hybrid structure, each managerial level has its own role. The key features of transnational design are 1. Business units are part of a network which follows a principle of reciprocal dependency. 2. All roles are important for competitive success and therefore no dimension, viz. global, functional, or geographical dominates. 3. It follows a clearly defined and tightly controlled set of operating systems. 4. Good interpersonal relationship. 5. Inter-unit decisions forum. 6. Strong corporate values. And 7. A culture of sharing and willingness to collaborate. The major limitation of this model is that it requires management-intensive processes. It is still considered more as a mindset or an idea than a full-fledged organizational structure. Despite of this fact, today's organizations have started to rely more on the development of skills, attitudes, and behavior in line with the transnational model rather than focusing on the lookout for an ideal structure. Summary. In this unit, we have studied different types of organizational designs. Initially, the unit covers the organization factors and their key elements, which have a distinct effect on the formulation and implementation of a global strategy. The factors which have effect on the global strategy are organizational structure, management processes, people, and culture. This unit covers in detail the different types of organizational structures. The unit describes the global functional structure and also discusses the other models like geographic structure, metric structure, global product division structure, multi-business geographical structure, and hybrid structure. Each structure has its distinct features and also has its limitations. The advantages and disadvantages of each structure are discussed in brief. Finally, the unit discusses the transnational structure, which is considered to be a mix of the other structures.
You were listening to the audiobook by the School of Management Studies IGNOU for MBA program. Course code Mmpc 016 International Business Management. Course Coordinator Professor G. Subayama. Voiceover by Renuka. Edited by Ashok Sharma. Program assisted by Tarannum Jahan and Jagbandhu Jana. Program produced by Dr. Manoj Kumar Singh. This program was brought to you by Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.